Well, glory be, mercy me, we've done it yet again. Here we are, walking through the graveyard. Bit of a windy day today, guys, so sorry if the audio quality goes a little on me today, but nothing I can do about it. Such is the life that we live together. Today I want to talk about an experience I had on my live stream. I live stream every weekday, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come on in. Have a good time with us, right? Building a great community. The community's building and building every single day, getting more people in, getting new people in. And some of the people who come in, their pastime is poking holes in things that I say and revealing some of the missteps that I've made, which, you know, are often and regular, right? We're all human here. But there was one that really struck me. Just a lie that I carried through, not because I believed it per se, not because I was like planting a flag, but because it was such a small, almost insignificant sort of a thing that I thought, why would anyone, I didn't think this, but I came to think, why would anyone lie about this? So the Democrats, I showed a picture of the Democrats and the just the Democrats mainly, coming together for a moment of silence, right, on the Senate floor, or the Congress floor, I forget which one, and only the Democrats came, with the exception of Lynn Cheney and Dick Cheney, who came to have a moment of silence for the police officer that was killed in the January 6th insurrection. But and I didn't show this in order to say, oh, those Democrats, how horrible they killed this man. I showed it just to show that the divisions that exist within American politics. And my chat was very quick to point to me and say, hey, that guy didn't die during the January 6th insurrection. He wasn't killed in the January 6th insurrection. And my brain immediately went, but there is a body. Like, somebody did die, right? Like, there is a thing. And so they had me dig about and see. And there's a Glenn Greenwald article that shows that I trust Glenn Greenwald because of the Edward Snowden revelations, and he was central in the Chelsea Manning story. And he was pointing out, no, this police officer did in fact die, but it was unrelated. It was simply coincidental. Sure, he was assaulted during the January 6th insurrection, sure, but he didn't die because of it, right? People do tend to just up and die from time to time, Jonathan. And I thought, and it realizing this, that this gentleman his death was not related to the January 6th insurrection, and yet here are the Democrats standing here, putting on a show, putting on a presentation, as if his death was because of the insurrection. And I immediately thought to myself, why lie about this? Why do you need to lie about this? Usually when Americans lie, when American politicians lie about things, it makes a certain degree of sense, right? We want to lie about the WMDs so that we can get into Iraq, right, in Afghanistan. We want to lie about, we'll have Naira go in front of the UN and lie about what's going into Iran to do the Iran-Contra situation, right? There's usually a connecting thread of some sort. And the connecting thread that my chat attempted to create was, oh, they want to say that this guy died and so that they'll put through like a domestic terrorism act, right? To push through further legislation. And I'm just like, do you need that? They already went into the buildings. They already beat people up. They already like fomented a coup and people are being arrested and all of this kind of crazy stuff is already happening. Do you also need to say, oh yeah, also incidentally, heads up, they killed a cop. That definitely happened, and we're going to have a moment of silence about it with Dick Cheney, the most trustworthy man in America, right? And it just gets me to a point where I say on this channel all the time that these guys are psychopaths, right? Like, they're psychotic liars. But now you can't even believe, like, the banal shit that they say. Like, if an American politician says, like, oh, I like ice cream, then you have to actually fact check it. You have to actually go out and like find alternative sources. If they say something like, Amazon is America's largest employer, then you've got to go fact check it. You've got to go find it. And it quite literally is. Anything and everything you hear from these people, you immediately do. You immediately do have to be extremely skeptical. You have to believe immediately that they are lying if it is coming out of their mouth. Like, the joke always has been, how can you tell a politician is lying? Well, he's talking. Ha ha ha. But it seems as though that's the truth. In enormous ways. And small ways, which is more insidious, if you ask me. The big lies are easier to rout out. No, there were no WMDs. The little ones, these little lies, and this one's really good too because there's a body, right? So you've got evidence that this guy died. Well, there he is. He's dead. He was assaulted during the January 6th insurrection. We've got video of that. But the two events don't link. Yes, he was assaulted during the January, and that should be enough, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? He doesn't need to also be dead. You don't also need to do a moment of silence about it. You don't also need to bastardize this guy's life and legacy based on a lie. To do what exactly? Score political points with your base, I suppose? We can't have a country like this. You can't have a country like this, for God's sakes. You can't govern a country like this. You can't live in a country like this. You can't work for or be proud of a country like this. A country where you're constantly put at odds against another half of the country, based on complete and total farcical lies. You can't run a place like this. You can't live in a place like this. And no one should. And no one should be asked to do that. What in God's name is going on with any of this? Why do we tolerate it? Why are we allowing these overt, obvious psychopaths, both Democrats and Republicans, incidentally, in case there was any confusion on this, to continuously pretend to govern? When the reality is that the entire structure of the United States has been taken over by a small group of oligarchs. And what we are seeing is simply theater. A theater so entrenched in their consciousness, so entrenched in the way that they think, that they're willing to tell lies about literally everything, that they seem incapable of telling the truth. It seems as though we've come to a point where once a situation begins to happen, the political forces in America genuinely begin asking, how do we lie about this? It's almost as though they find pleasure in telling lies. It's almost as though they are seeking and discovering pleasure moments out of telling lies to the American populace. It's like they're proud of the lies that they tell. You have to imagine that they go behind the scenes after the cameras are shut down and congratulate one another for telling yet another series of aggressive, egregious lies. And getting away with it yet again. And getting away with it yet again. What a time to be alive. Well, if you've made it to this point, like, share, subscribe. YouTube throttles my videos. They don't want me to grow. They don't want to spread this stuff around. They don't want people listening to leftists. I'm hearing leftist voices, people like Second Thought, Hakeem, Kyle Kalinske, David Dole, all saying they're being demonetized, they're being deprioritized, they're getting less viewership, they're getting less monetary support from YouTube. We are being chased off the platform. We are being chased away. So if you don't share it, no one sees it. I got a Patreon down below. Think about donating, right? Again, I got that live stream 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on in. We're a growing movement, and we're a growing revolutionary movement with the intent of getting rid of these psychopaths. If you don't support leftist voices, you're going to end up ruled by these guys forever. Just remember, and always remember, you are a quantum being, standing around in quantum energy. These psychos are spending billions of dollars to try to make sure you never realize it. Because if you do, you might actually realize you're just as valid and as important as they are. Revolt, repent, rebel. Good luck. We're gonna need it.